D is a first-time caller out of New York. D, welcome to the show. Where did they come from, D?
Jesse, a couple things we need to get clear. So, number one, I'm a black man, African American. So
You were born in Africa. You were born in Africa.
No, I was born in Queens, New York. African American is just a term so white people know what I'm talking about.
But why do you use African American if you're an American and you have common sense? Why do you use African American?
Well, again, like I said, it's more or less so that people can identify what I mean. Because, as America, we unfortunately don't have a vast vocabulary when it comes to defining people. So I'm just saying that so people know what I represent. I'm not necessarily saying that I see myself that way, but it's just so that people.
But when you use that phrase, even though you may be a smart guy, and it sounds like you are, when you use that phrase, it gives the impression that you are not an American, that you think like the rest of the blacks do.
Well, actually, so check this out. So my parents come from Trinidad and Tobago, so I really don't even identify as an African American. I don't think my people from Trinidad and Tobago should even get reparations. But that's a whole nother conversation. Right. But I still identify as a black person, nonetheless.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Kamala Harris, we don't really support her anyway. I'm not speaking for all black people, but myself, I don't support her.
Good for you,
just off of her record as a DA in California.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm even calling for. I'm calling for Aunt Becky and Uncle Jesse and all the mess that's happening over there. So I wanted to answer your question. I heard you ask, why are these rich white people ultimately cheating to help their kids get into school?
Right. Why do you believe, if it's true what they've been accused of, why do you think that they're doing this?
I think because their kids are dumb as doorknobs and they need all the help they can get.
Why do you think that?
They're just sick. Well, Aunt Becky, her daughter, is a YouTube star, and she made a video saying that she didn't even care about going to school. She was going just for the party.
Right.
So they're not even interested in going. But, these rich people, they want to be able to say, my kid went to Yale, my kid went to Harvard. So that's what it's all about.
Is it possible they could be doing it because blacks and Mexicans and others are getting in front of these kids, even though they haven't earned their way at all, they're not qualified?
I would say no, because as we see just by statistics, you can look at any type of report, you can see that, white women, gays, they actually benefit more from affirmative action than black people do. So I don't really think that's the case.
But when it comes to white people, blacks are allowed in before a white person. And you're right. It has been reported that the lesbians and the homosexuals, whites, are really using that more than black, more than blacks are using it. But when it comes to black and whites, do you admit that they are taking the blacks who are not qualified over the qualified white people?
No, I can't agree with that either.
Why not? I know a whole lot of black kids who are in these universities across the country, and they're only there because they're black, not because they're qualified.
No, I don't think that's a fair characterization. So, because even if we look at other races, so let's even go broader than black and white, we know that a lot of Japanese and Asian students are really against affirmative action, saying that they're not getting in. And as you say, the unqualified black students are getting ahead of them.
And that's true. But there was a lawsuit in Michigan where the Asians had to sue because they were letting the blacks in, and the blacks were not qualified, and the Asians were qualified, and they couldn't get in either because of the blacks and the Mexicans.
Yeah, I think that's really fake news as well.
No, so it's true news. It's true news.
Can I ask you a question in relation to that?
Yes.
So if black people currently in America make up, let's say, 13% of the population, right?
12 to 13.
And then we have Asian Americans who make up, let's say, about 5% of the population. But then when we look at the population,
hold that thought, D. Do not hang up. You're taking a while to ask it. Hold on. Do not hang up. I'll come back. All right, welcome back. Let me go back to D out of first time call out of New York. So D, you were saying there are 12 to 13% black people, and take it from there.
Yeah, so 12 to 13% black people, 5% is, and the Asian community makes up about 5%. So I don't understand how they're protesting black people getting to school when we look at Ivy League schools. They make up 50% of the population, while black people only make up 3%. So they're over indexing in these schools. So how are you complaining or have a problem with it when your population makes up 5%, but you make up 50% in Ivy League schools?
Well, the reason they're complaining about it because we all know that blacks are not qualified. They're lazy. They don't study. They don't work hard, and that they are getting it free. And it doesn't matter the number. It could be you could be letting in one black and 1,000 Asians or whites. It still wouldn't be fair to let the black in just because they're black. You need to earn your way to become a better person. And it's not fair to those people who earn their way to just let people in because of their color. And that's what they're doing with the blacks.
Wow. I don't know because, I'm black. I earned my way through school, through college,
But
and I
I would
think that
never
people would
believe
still
that.
have an issue with that.
I can't believe that because you're black. I can only believe you got in because of your color, because that's the norm now in America.
That's the only reason that I got in, you think?
Yeah.
Wow. So it had nothing to do with me doing well on my SATs and my good school grades and doing community service. It had nothing to do with that.
No, because black people don't do well. They even lowered the SAT scores for the blacks, not for the whites, but for the blacks. They do the same thing with the women when they want to go to the military or some male school. They lower the standard for the women as well. And so it's known that they lower it for the blacks. So when you say that you did well, you could be meaning that the test was easier for you and much wasn't required from you, and that's why you passed the test, not because you really passed the test.
Interesting.
That makes sense, right?
To look at it. I can't say that's right, but that's definitely an interesting way to look at it.
But wouldn't it make sense though if it's known that black people get jobs and get into these schools because of affirmative action and racial preferences, that they're not really earning it? They're only getting it because of their color. Does that make more sense? Because of affirmative action?
I mean, if we were going to go that route, I would say I probably got in them because I have sounding last name, and when I'm on the phone, I don't probably sound like the typical black guy. So I guess when I'm doing phone interviews and applying, I guess that does help. So I guess my slave owner last name does help, I guess. And going to these white schools helps, I guess.
But you do agree that it makes sense that all blacks are suspected of affirmative action since it is based on affirmative action, right?
Yeah, but again, white women, gays, they benefit off affirmative action more. So I guess I should look at white women and gays a little suspect as well. That does make sense.
Well, there are some white men and women white women, lesbians, who get in based on affirmative action. But all black people get in based on affirmative action. There's not one black people who earn their way. They don't have to.
Wow. Again, I can't agree with that, but I definitely respect your opinion. Because I do agree with you on some things, but I agree with you a lot on the church aspect of things. So when it comes to black people and things of that nature, I can't really align with you.
But how would, in all honesty, DJ, how would we know the difference if affirmative action is for black people? And now they want reparations. They still want more free stuff. Why would you think there's one black who is capable of their own?
Well, reparations is about getting money. Black people will want a check now.
Free stuff, yeah. They want free schools, free everything. So why wouldn't we? How can you tell there's one black person who are earning their way if they're constantly begging year in and year out and getting free stuff? Why would you think that blacks are capable of earning their way?
So it's saying that I want an actual check now instead of programs and handouts. Like I want an actual check and decide what we do with it. Like, how Japanese people got a reparations in 1988, civil liberties act for the World War II, them being put in internment camps. They got an actual check. So black people, I don't think have ever gotten an actual check.
That's not true. Black people been getting free checks since the Civil Rights Movement. Lyndon B. Johnson.
Not a welfare check.
Yeah,
not a check that's designed to.
Those are free checks.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weaponized check, though. That was,
But they were
you know,
still free checks.
a bad free check, a check that shouldn't have been taken. I agree with you. Black welfare was the worst thing for black people. I do
Right,
agree on
but and so it were free checks, and they been getting free stuff. They even got the free white woman.
that. Oh man. Well, I don't know if that's good either. I don't think that's really working out for us as well. But I think things are changing for the better. So we just have to wait and see what happens
Changing for the better for whom?
for black people in the terms of.
In what way?
I just think that black people are waking up more. Now. They're more aware of all the games that have been played. YouTube has been huge for that. We don't have to rely solely on the mainstream media.
Where to prove that black people where to prove some are, most are not, but where to prove that most black people are waking up?
No, it's definitely not most. It's a small group, but all we need is a critical mass. The herd is being thinned right now, so I'm okay with that.
Do you need black people to wake up?
Oh, we only need a critical mass of black people to wake up. We don't need every black person to wake up.
Do you need one black person to wake up?
One would help, definitely.
In what way would one help you?
Because if he's awake, then he can help other people wake up.
Oh, but that wouldn't help you. It wouldn't benefit you.
Oh, well, I'm good.
Do you
individually.
Do you identify as black?
Yes, I do, because I'm a dark-skinned black man, so I have to identify as black. In this country, at least. Like I said, it's just for them, so they can know what to call me.
Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian?
I am.
Why not identify as a son of God?
Yeah, I 100% do. So I'm a
not if you identify as being black.
Well, again, as I said, I have to identify that so when I'm talking to people, they understand my viewpoint and what I'm coming from. So I necessarily, like I said, my parents are West Indian immigrants, so I don't really feel as constrained as a black person that was born here, but I'm sympathetic to the plight that they have.
But their plight is due to their own lack of moral character. It has nothing to do with white people.
Moral character, I do agree. I was blessed to have both of my parents in the house. Yeah. I was blessed to go to good schools, and I have a 6-figure job. So that's why I said I don't feel...
Well, they won't even like you, D, knowing that you're from another country. They won't like you at all.
I know that. This is a huge argument that I have with my native black friends, as they call themselves, because they feel that I benefited from all these programs and all that stuff. But I'm like, my parents came here in the 50s, and they just worked hard.
Yeah, that's right. And most blacks are unwilling to work hard. They want affirmative action. They want free stuff. D, thank you for calling, man. How old are you, D?
I'm 35.
Are you married?
I am.
You the head of your wife?
100%.
Right on, D. Call me again, but I appreciate you.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right. You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Amazing. Smart guy.